Hello, hi, welcome, and thank you so much for being here. I hope you're having a beautiful day or night. We're gonna do a timeless and collective reading, so whenever it finds you, it's the right time. See what resonates, leave what doesn't, and remember that divine inner guidance. It's in you. And try to make balanced decisions between logic and intuition. So your decisions are sound, based in love, and for the highest and greatest good of everyone. So we're all uplifted in love. I did a pre-pull from the spirit animals, and you have a really big one. You got the whale. This is such a strong, powerful, amazing animal. And maybe it's really diving deep into that ocean of emotion, your intuition. It's deep introspection that creates profound healing. It's also breaching the surface. I always think of the whales kind of jumping out of the water. So maybe something is going to lighten up. And I always think of them singing, sound. Communication maybe is key, or maybe something is going to come to light after communicating about something emotional. I'm also getting a really deep inner knowing about something, like a deep truth within you. It's number 93, which is like the hangman. So maybe it was a pause or seeing the, the complete opposite perspective of a situation, but then you have to turn yourself back around and really use that spiritual insight that you gained. When I pulled this card, I did try to find some whale zen sounds for this reading, and Rose just kept barking at the whales. So that wasn't gonna work. So let's just read what this is quick, and then we're gonna dive in and get you some clarity and see what messages unfold that would be helpful for you today. So number 93 is the whale. I think this is a humpback whale. It says dive within to heal. It represents spiritual wisdom and emotional healing. The whale calls us to unlock. Maybe it's about a call. Maybe you're getting a phone call or you have to call someone. Unlock the boundless depths of intuition and emotion, inviting us to delve into our innermost truths. Through this deep introspection and connection with the whale's spiritual energy, we can find the path to profound healing. That's really big. This is something really deep in you that maybe has been taking a while to heal, or I see like noticing something. Maybe you just didn't notice something before. I would think that if it's a whale-sized situation, you probably are going to recognize it now. So this could also be somebody else's energy, but let's go a little later. We're going to switch to the fairy tarot and begin the reading with this. So let's see what God, Source, Holy Spirit, Christ consciousness, our higher selves, angels and energies of love have for the highest, greatest good of all. Clarity for the collective today. What is the opening message? A little deeper dive into what the whale's energy is. Please and thank you. Well, that would be deep, and that's also very appropriate with the High Priestess coming in. So this is deep spiritual insight, wisdom, clarity, and inner knowing. There's absolutely no middleman needed with the High Priestess. Maybe this is something that you've kept silent on. Sometimes the High Priestess is silence. Sometimes it's secrets, but it's not usually weird secrets. It's secrets that need to be looked at and addressed in the proper timing. She is holding a really big book with something like specifically marked for you. The other thing with the High Priestess is it's not in order at all. I always see the High Priestess as those spiritual lessons that come when you're ready to hear it, when you're ready to notice it, when you are in that energy of trust and allowance and divine connection to God, to Source, to really embody what you're getting, those spiritual downloads that are coming on in. This is where you're trusting your intuition. You're trusting that inner knowing. It could be somebody really, really spiritual and insightful around you that maybe points you in the right direction. It does look like, you know, she has something marked here for you. You know, like she knew this was for you right now. Are you ready to hear the lesson? I am sort of seeing a gift. Maybe it's the gift of knowledge. It could be the gift of a certain experience where you gain that knowledge. Upside down, the High Priestess, we will look at that, although these cards are kind of mostly upright. But the upside down High Priestess she doesn't have integrity with her gifts. There's too much ego, desire, and want involved, and it sort of jades the messages. But since this is an upright version, let's see what it says for the High Priestess. She actually looks kind of young. I'm getting somebody that has almost like an old soul. Not really getting an age with the High Priestess, but there's I feel like even if this is somebody who is like older, there's a youthfulness in the energy. So maybe it's even a vibrancy in your soul, kind of getting a little like sparkle in your spirit. Trusting your intuition, careful reflection before taking action. That's that silence. It's just holding back until you know that it's the right time to present something. And it's insights that come through meditation. That was the same message here. It's deep spiritual insights. This is big already. So let's get some insights from the mystery deck. Let's kind of see what comes through, and then I feel like we should kind of be like the High Priestess and bounce all over the place and layer a little bit. So what are some messages that would layer into this reading and be helpful for you today? Oh, a beautiful laugh. I love that. You do have the whale, but maybe somebody just has a beautiful laugh. This laughter is such a high vibration. It's also a very interesting way to teach anything that is spiritual. Sometimes you can use laughter. I'm thinking of even a comedian or something like that, where you can like really get some harsh truths out in a way where it is heard. It's received differently because it's done through humor. I think they call that the divine clown or something. It's like an archetype. But maybe this is just somebody, I just got goosey, that has a really beautiful laugh. Somebody thinks your laugh is beautiful. Maybe it is a lightening up of a situation. What else? Let's just keep going. Well, even if you're doing this, I would say that laughter is probably a good place to be. Because if you're making love, I mean, you want it to be lighthearted. All right, so maybe we're doing a little bit of a love reading here. Let's continue. That card comes out a lot for you guys, but this isn't just a surface level situation. Maybe it is even a deep connection that brings profound healing, you know, via intimacy. But this, like when I made this card, this isn't just like a hookup kind of situation. This is in love. This is really deep. This is something different and special. So maybe you have this inner knowing about a certain person, or that something, I feel like this is our card, that something is entering into your life, knowing when something is really deep. Maybe you're getting an answer very soon. It's telling you to answer now, or somebody's maybe ready to answer now. I feel like this has to do with something you were unclear about, but You won't be much longer. So what else? Wow. It looks like whatever you are becoming clear about is not just, you know, one fun situation over here or a cool night in intimacy land. It looks like it's all around happiness that continues to unfold in your life. Happy ever after. And I always see the ... and to be continued. So it's choosing happy. Maybe this healing comes in first. The happy energy brings to light, you know, beautiful vibrations. I just see now that whale kind of knowing that there's something ahead, because they can feel those vibrations and those ripples in the water. So I do feel like you have an inner knowing. But these are choices. Choosing to be around the people that make you happy, choosing to go in the direction that makes you happy, choosing to put your time and energy into something that makes you happy. And obviously, it's not a happily ever after every single day. Sometimes it rains, sometimes it's weird, but those are all beautiful lessons, and they all make your story more interesting than it being like the same weather every single day. You know, if it was always just sunny and 70, then you probably desire the rain every once in a while. I just keep thinking of how the rain makes me sleep like a baby. So maybe it's comfortable sleep. Like a storm, maybe there was a storm. I've got sunshine on a cloudy day. I think that's my girl. When it's cold outside, I got the month of May. I guess you say, what can make me feel that way? My girl, talking about my girl, my girl. I feel like that came through recently too. So maybe that song needed to come through again. Maybe it needed to come through again. Maybe it needed to show up in a reading again. Maybe this is the right thing showing up in your life. Maybe this is you showing up for yourself. It could be you showing up for someone else. It could also be somebody showing up for some sassy time. I feel like if it's this deep connection, because when I see the High Priestess in connection to love, I see it as a spiritual partnership where it's multifaceted. You know, it's not just communication. It's not just friendship. It's not just sassy land. It's like everything. And I see like a kaleidoscope now. So I feel like it's something that's always changing, always, I don't know why I just saw like curiosity. Always kind of mysterious too. She's kind of mysterious. You know, she doesn't show you that, you know, like the flip book. She kind of shows you one little page at a time. So what else? Stay centered. I feel like that has to do with a decision, or if there are a lot of changes and you have this inner knowing that something is coming, stay centered. That's always a good message to come through. If you feel off balance, find your center. I also feel like that might have to do with this answer now. If somebody is like, answer now, you know, just stay centered. Maybe wait until you are ready to make a solid decision. I also feel like you're going to I see like you flowing differently around any energy that was kind of throwing you off guard or a little bit pushy before. And I'm not sure what that is, but I feel like you're doing something in a different way. So I see you like redirecting a conversation that somebody else was maybe trying to control. I'm not sure what that is. because I see you staying centered, but I see you almost like throwing somebody off a little bit. But I feel like that needed to happen, and that is a good thing. Let's see. What else? What else? And then I'm not sure what to do next. Well, you do have the High Priestess coming in. You are blessed with gifts. Gifts of, you know, sunshine, happiness, opportunities, blessed with something special about how you communicate, blessed with these spiritual gifts that are coming into your life, blessed with gifts of, I hear like creativity. It makes me think of something you might be talented at, something that's unique about you. You are gifted with something because it's a gift to both help you, but I feel like for some of you, you are meant to help others as well. Maybe somebody is bringing you a gift. I mean, you do have somebody showing up. Maybe that even throws you off. That's kind of what I see now. Maybe you didn't expect somebody to show up, and you're like, you know, just stay centered. You're going to be okay. You're going to figure something out. I feel like it's a surprise conversation you didn't think that you would have. I'm not sure what that is, but I feel like there is something surprisingly beautiful about how it flows, where it takes you, maybe the knowledge gained from that. Because I keep looking at the happy ever after. I feel like it's a happy ending, but also an ending brings a beginning. And I don't know, I feel like laughter is key somehow. Let's get one more and then we'll go to something different. You got a gift. So for some of you, this is you being gifted, you being talented, but I think somebody might actually have a gift for you. Or this is a gift of a special experience. Maybe this is the gift of knowledge. Maybe this is the gift of laughter, being lighthearted, the gift of an experience, the gift of clarity. It's beautiful. I'm excited for you. All right, let's put this over here and let's do the universe. Let's go to the universe and get a message for you. What is message? And then we'll go to, maybe we'll go back to the fairy and do one more. And I kind of want to do a different tarot. So one message from the universe, please and thank you. What would be helpful on staying centered, happily ever after, blessed with gifts, gift, beautiful laugh, answer now, show up. The whale, the high priestess, making love. One message, please and thank you. It's never too late. Whatever I just said about the ending and a beginning, it's never too late to start over. You have to trust in the magic of new beginnings. They are waiting for you. Notice them, seize them, and appreciate all that you have. Just relax and trust. I mean, the beautiful thing about the High Priestess energy is being okay with not always knowing and trusting that the answers come in that divine timing, and usually by unusual means, you know, what you kind of don't expect. You can get a little hint-a-roo, but sometimes it comes in really mysterious ways, answers. There are new beginnings waiting for you to arrive. Relax and trust that you are going to, I feel like, feel something out, hear a certain call, be at the right place at the right time. I do feel like some of you do have a talent you should be using more. You should be sharing more. I keep hearing healing. So maybe some of you are gifted at healing, but I kind of feel like for some of you, you might heal through something that you don't even think is helping others. Like I just see that laugh. Like you have the capability of just making somebody smile or making them see something through a positive light. Stay centered. Let's see. Let's stick with this and do another fairy message. What's another message from the fairy tarot that would clarify? Let's see. I kind of want to clarify the answer now. Clarify answer now. What is that about? Answer now and show up. Strength. You started with the whale. Now you got this beautiful fairy here with a lion and a lamb. So this is not pushy power. This is not a pushy energy. This is inner strength. Also, I really like that strength does come through right in the nick of time, like right when you need it. So it might mean there is a situation going on now or coming in, maybe with this ending over here. Not every ending is easy and breezy in a big bow kind of situation. Sometimes it's rough, but it looks like the new beginning is pretty bright. Stay centered with whatever might come through that does require a little bit extra power and strength. You can handle something. But it's usually the honey on the wound. It's sometimes a whisper. It's sometimes a laugh. It's sometimes a different way to do something that is showing your power. It's not having to prove it. This is just exuding it. It's graceful energy. Upside down is pushy power, overpowering. Even maybe too much ego involved in a situation. But this is number 11. Maybe 211 was important. That could even be the time. I know it's a very specific time, maybe 2:11 a.m. or p.m. It's also a Leo energy. Maybe you have Leo in your chart. I just love that the fairy, the lion, and the lamb are all hanging out together. Like they're all, you know, they're all like in this, I don't know, I see like a soul family. So maybe you are around people that are very different than you, but get along. Let me see, I need my glasses, hold on. It says, the grace and inner strength needed to overcome challenges, the power of kindness and forgiveness, and it's time to embrace how wonderful you are. I don't know why I just thought of Isn't She Lovely? Stevie Wonder. You also look like you are looking off to the side. I feel like the lion and the lamb are looking forward, but you notice that there's something a different direction, which is sort of cool. Maybe something about the color white. Maybe it's a clean slate. The white makes me think of snow, which does always bring me to silence, how silent it is when it's snowing out. You can hear, you know, every bird if they're out there. So maybe it is something about silence. Maybe it's a silent power. Maybe you don't even have to speak. Maybe it's just in what you do, how you handle something, how you maybe even move behind. I'm kind of seeing somebody move behind the scenes. But if this is somebody else moving weird behind the scenes, you're going to see them. You can kind of see what's going on over there, you know, side stage. Let's look at how her eyes are looking somewhere. So if there was something kind of hidden to you, it's going to be revealed. It's not going to throw you off. What's at the bottom? Let's see. The Seven of Spring. Yeah, maybe you felt a little bit guarded, or somebody around you was on guard, you know, but this is where you actually have the elevated perspective in a situation. You, you know, you see something from a different vantage point than others may. So trust yourself. Trust that if you need to defend yourself, you can, but this is usually where you find a different way to handle something where you don't really have to be thrown off your hill here. But here you got a, look at this fairy. You got a fairy with a bow and arrow. Maybe you connect to even a Sagittarius energy, but I see you hitting your target. This is telling you if you need to speak up, that stay centered, you can handle it. You have, I feel like the ball's in your court, or you have the right support, you know, in your corner. Be assertive. Don't back down from what you believe. Courageously stand up for yourself. You have a lot of powerful energy here. So if there's anything where somebody was throwing you off your balance, that's kind of what I saw before. Show up for yourself. Stay centered. There's a card in here and it says hang out with happy, and I just thought of that card. But if you have been, you know, backing down, forced to crawl around with opinions that you don't really believe in, I don't think that feels right anymore. I don't think you're going to let anyone throw you off your course or question your power. Maybe somebody was questioning you, especially if somebody was questioning something you couldn't quite explain. That's kind of a little bit weird. I feel like you don't have to really explain yourself. You just have to recognize where you need to move to hit that target. Because I feel like you're going to hit a bullseye. So let's continue. Let's go to, I want to go to a different, let me see what I got. I want to do a different tarot. I'm not sure which one. Let's do this one. This is the pulp. This is also a little sassy. So let's just do a message or two. And I do feel like because you have this, we should do something, something from a love deck, just to get a little clarity in case you are thinking about a certain partnership or have awareness on maybe something coming in you don't know about, because you do have beautiful new beginnings coming through. So what is another message to clarify that Seven of Springs, Seven of Wands? Being assertive, standing up for yourself, knowing that what you believe or what you know to be true really only has to make sense to you. I feel like somebody's confused or they're trying to make sense out of something that doesn't make sense. But I feel like that's not their lesson. That's not really their path. And maybe that was something you were trying to explain to somebody before. And I feel like your agenda has changed. Like that's not what's important to you anymore. Trying to explain something to someone that's not going to get that spiritual lesson. Because it's not really for them. There's something here for you. Clarify Seven of Spring. Yeah, you were trying to make a decision. Or somebody else was trying to make a decision on whether or not to speak up, whether or not to defend something they believed in, whether or not to take off that blindfold and see the truth that's probably right in front of you. You have your hands wide open here. You can take that blindfold off. But it is usually balanced between your heart and your head with the Two of Swords. You can't go all with one or the other. If you're overly logical on anything, you are not addressing the direction your heart wants to go. But I am getting with this particular swords that it is something involving emotion, because you got the huge ocean behind you. I said something before about white being important. Wearing white, a white dress or something like that. It also looks like you're standing on a scroll. You're actually standing on something that's almost like knowledge here. Maybe it was right in front of you. You just had to open your eyes, see the writing on the wall or the writing under your feet. This is also using your right brain and your left brain, being creative and being logical. You have two swords here. It could be where somebody felt blocked. You know, you have the swords like this. So maybe something was blocked off while they were thinking about something. Maybe it's reaching one of those swords across, handing it to someone else, so it can be a communication thing. Because upside down, it's not deciding, which is a decision too. What's at the bottom? The Eight of Pentacles. Deciding to work on something. Deciding to put effort into something. This is where you show up. Or this is where somebody else shows up. Making a decision, a clear answer, and that helps with the direction. This is where you put your energy in every day or consistently over time. That brings you big prosperity. I always feel like in this particular one, there's like a muse. There's somebody that inspires somebody else to keep showing up. Yay, I think we need to do another painting. How about you pose a different way over there and I'll paint you like that. But this is somebody who is also helping the painter or you. Maybe that was your message. And it's kind of interesting because every time you get to do this, every time you get to do this thing that you're putting energy into, you get a little better. You know, it gets a little easier. You give it a little more creativity. You put a little more of your own personal flair on something. And it ends up bringing you talent or experience that usually brings you abundance in some way later. But sometimes with the Eight of Pentacles, you have to give a little extra in the beginning, kind of like the apprentice. You know, you might not make any money, but maybe you're learning from the best. And that is valuable to you, especially towards whatever you are pursuing in your future. So you have to recognize what is valuable. Who values your time? How much time you need to place into something for it to have growth in your life. Sometimes with the Eight of Pentacles, you just have to go to like a weekend seminar or, you know, one class and you get the basics and then you do something on your own. Sometimes this is consistency over, you know, long periods of time, going to school, you know, however many days per week. But it's recognizing or deciding how much consistency something does need. Eight of Pentacles. I feel like somebody wants to work with you. Somebody is inspired by you. And it's like a continual back and forth flow of energy somehow. So let's do a love message. I have one. Yeah, I have this one. I have the clarifying love situations. So let's just get a little clarity in case you're wondering specifically about love, and that has to do with this decision or that inner knowing or what you have to have strength with, what you're standing up for. What would be helpful when it comes to love? Please and thank you. That you're rebuilding. Here you're working on something This is showing up, and it's also staying centered every day as you construct something, you know, as you grow, as you build. So this, for some of you, might be you and somebody else starting over, doing it different, doing it better, recognizing the tools that you have or the skills that you've gained that make something easier every time you do it, every time you communicate, every time you put energy into something. For some of you, this is somebody coming in your life and it's a totally new energy, a new person, but you have changed. So you have to, what did I see? The clean slate. You know, you have to start on that clean slate, and page by page, you figure something out with someone else. But I also see that this is you rebuilding or putting some work into you. If this is somebody coming in, they want to show up. They want to put in the effort. They want something to be strong and lasting. Working on it, persistence and overcoming challenges. This says it's never too late to start over. It's never too late to go back to school. It's never too late to see if that thing that you were only curious about is actually a deep talent within your soul. And it's going to be like, you know, career number 4 or 32 in your life. Chapter whatever, however many lifetimes you've gone through in this lifetime. It's never too late to begin again. It's never too late to maybe have a new relationship or do something in your relationship you're in differently. Let's get one more. What is rebuilding or coming through? This also looks like a neon sun. It does look like a rise. I keep hearing halo because that kind of looks like it is like a halo. So let's get one more. Clarity on rebuilding, please and thank you. Stop. So maybe something stopped before, or you're rebuilding with the right love. You're maybe staying center and choosing that there might be something for you that is not what you think. There could have been somebody that put a block up if they didn't show up. And that was a deep lesson that was gained and a situation that required a lot of strength to get through. It was a block that was a gift. It was a stop to redirect you, to take you to your blessings over there. It was an ending so that you get to these bright new beginnings. And if this is coming through regarding anything that's coming in your future, especially if you feel like you have to explain yourself or, you know, something like that where it feels like a red flag, a little red flag going on, like, you've been through this before, not gonna do it again, put up the old sign, you know, it was nice to know you, this is not for me, we're gonna move along now. I feel like that's that, standing up for yourself. So if you know something's not right for you, I feel like it's not gonna be a block to get in your way or some kind of karmic cycle you're gonna get into again. You have the strength to recognize something before you even, you know, flip the page. But if there was anything that was a toxic energy, that's leaving your life. That's definitely something you're not going to give your time or attention towards. And there is something about you having something maybe you desired, if this is upside down, not happen because it wasn't actually for your highest and greatest good. Maybe that was something you really had to have some healing on. This is walking away and surrendering. I feel like this second chance here is only going to be given definitely to the right vibration. If something is continually kind of toxic, pulling you down, stressing you out, that's not that clean slate. That's there to rebuild. That's like a, what's that, like a house of cards or something like that, you know, where it's, oh, the wind's going to come by and just knock it over. I do feel like it has to be something that feels like solid, like a brick. Like a rock. I think that's a song. I don't know who sings that song. It makes me think of like a commercial or something like that. I started auto shuffling, so let's get one more. What is one more message? Please and thank you. Same message. There's definitely something that you're cutting out. I hear behavior, but I kind of don't think that's you. I feel like that's somebody else's behavior. There's a certain relationship in your life that is best to just part ways in order to heal. Severing ties, endings, moved on, abandonment, calling it quits, closed chapter. You know, you're shutting that book, walking away, rebuilding somewhere where it's a more solid foundation, where you feel good. For some of you, you're just doing something on your own. And it's kind of like when you're doing that all of a sudden out of nowhere, something shows up or someone shows up like a gift. What's at the bottom? Yeah. So this came through at the end of the reading, and it just needs to be looked at. You have bad games. You have somebody who was definitely, you have something beautiful here, worth the effort. And this is like 3 messages now, and you have that inner knowing from the High Priestess here. You know there is something that's not healthy. Somebody was playing games. They were manipulating a situation. They were doing something for their own selfish reasons. And I feel like whatever I saw with the girl looking at the side before, like you could kind of see it. Even if somebody was trying to hide it, you couldn't hide their weird ass vibes. This is somebody that was giving mixed signals. It's bad games, not good games. Manipulation. They were trying to control you or control somebody else or control something. And it's somebody that was acting immature. And I feel like that continued. They were dishonest, stringing along in bad intentions. This is somebody who was just in a situation for their own selfish, I hear pride or reasons, but I feel like maybe they kept that a secret. And I feel like you have this beautiful gift of a knowing that maybe even if somebody doesn't come clean or have a serious talk about something, that you could tell that somebody's intentions, you know, their actions were off, their energy was off, and you know now to put energy into where it's more like a muse and a vibe, and the effort feels like it's building, it's getting somewhere, it's blessed, and you feel stronger either on your own or in a certain new partnership, different partnership than where it was always a pushy power or something messing with your energy or unplugging you. So interesting that those came through at the end of the reading. Hi Rose, what are you doing, babe? Let's get you one more final message from the mystery deck, and then I think we're going to end here because I don't feel like this is a big surprise to you. It could be a surprising gift for you to know. If I feel like for some of you, you've even been the one to, maybe unbeknownst to you, help somebody else through that situation. Maybe you recognize that somebody was being played the whole time, but they didn't. But until someone's ready to see it, they're not going to get that lesson. They have to go through that karmic cycle and learn it on their own in their own timing. So I do feel like for some of you, this is you recognizing someone else's situation. And maybe somebody tried to rebuild something a couple times, but you just knew that energy was off. That was, you can only tell them so many times, lead a horse to water, but if they weren't hearing it, they had to hear it when that lesson was really heard. And then they get that beautiful gift of spiritual elevation and get off the merry-go-round and get to go towards rebuilding in whatever capacity, in whatever nature is coming in their life, in beautiful opportunities that come through. So maybe this is for some of you, you had that call in the beginning, something you hear about. Let's see, let's get one. Rose wants my attention as well. One more to be helpful at the end of this reading. That's the guy that's just like chillaxing, making a decision. It looks like somebody is staying centered there, looking towards the sunshine, getting grounded, getting comfortable. Let's get one more because there's actually no message on that. Grounded, I said something about getting grounded. Ground the dream. You know, if you're up there thinking about something all the time, but taking no steps to put it into reality, step by step. Maybe one day it's making the plans, making the phone call. Maybe the next day it is showing up to buy all the tools that you need. Maybe another day it's starting that project. If the dream is about rebuilding in a partnership, then it's also showing up. The gift of all the experiences that you get to do and every decision you get to make together, when it's a beautiful back and forth energy, where somebody's on your team, not always questioning you. Let's get one more. Loud silence. Interesting, because you have the High Priestess. I actually really like that. Loud silence can be somebody who pulls the old silent treatment as part of those bad games to get a response. But loud silence could also be where there was so much silence between you and someone else that speaks volumes. Or there was a lot going on in your mind or in your heart because of silence. Loud silence could also be very big messages coming through from God that you hear loud and clear inside of you. It could also be where you know, with this High Priestess energy, when to speak and be assertive, and when silence might be the better option and a bigger strength, especially if it's in a situation where you're not heard anyway. Maybe silence is key here. So with this, I bid you adieu. I love you so much. I hope this reading was helpful, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. I bid you adieu.